when we bought this place, it was totally overgrown. It hadn't been tended to in 20 years, at least, in any serious fashion. And we knew we had a lot that we had written a check for that we'd bid off, and we were ready to get started.
We've got these random lawn chairs.
I was really grateful to have this pole saw. This is a leftover from when I used to own a small landscaping company. I kept most of my tools, and boy did it pay off with this project. It makes such a big difference when you don't have to crawl into a bush with a machete or a hatchet or something and really like have the bush all around you to get in there, just reaching in with a 12-foot pole saw and making the cuts, and then being able to just pull the branches out one by one. I can't tell you how big a difference this made. Saved hours of effort for us. More or less what we did through here was I'd be making the cuts and Jess would be pulling the stuff out. 45 minutes later, yeah, we made a little dent, but we still got so much more to do. During this period, it just felt like no matter how much we did, there was just so much more left for us. We just kept going and going. We must have filled my truck up 5, 6 times with brush like this. We just kept pulling it back to the same spot on the land. We established kind of like a burn spot pile where we'd put all this. We just kept bringing the truck back and loading up and unloading it, loading and unloading. And then the weekend following, my brother-in-law came out and he helped me. There's Rob helped me out. So I would make the cuts and stack everything up, and Rob was loading my truck up and taking it to the burn pile, loading it up and taking it to the burn pile. And it just felt eternal at this point. We kept going, kept being more to do, kept loaded up and unloading it and cutting and loading and unloading. It just seemed like it would never end. It was a good rainy day, so we felt comfortable starting the fire up. You know, you got to be careful. You don't want it to get out of control. But this was all green growth, and it was raining on us. So even with just 2 of us out there, we felt comfortable starting the fire up. This was the first time I'd really seen the house. I mean, that brush blocked so much. Once we cut it out of the way, you could really see what we had to work with here. It's a beautiful home, so much potential. It's just been left untended to. Okay, so next problem. These little pine sprouts are popping up everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, there's another little bitty pine. Some of them you can pull out, just one person at a time, if you've got the time to do it. And then some of them are just going to be too big. What am I going to do? I'm going to cut these all out. Am I going to, dig them out? This is just problem solving. We were trying to figure out what would make sense to do to get these all out of here. This is probably late August, early September we were doing this. It's funny looking back now. I'm recording this in early December, sorry. I got something called an extractigator. This is out of Canada. It's a small stump pulling tool. It's just a fulcrum with some teeth and a foot. I bought the extra footer piece there. It's made to like work with softer ground or whatever. I just wanted to make sure I could do it. This is the Big Daddy edition. And here is the footage of the first time I ever tried this thing. I mean, literally, I set it up, This is a pine tree that I cut down and left a couple feet because I didn't know what I was going to do. And I left this in here because this is the footage of the first attempt to pull a pine tree. The first attempt to pull a pine tree with this thing. And what a game changer. Those little ones that Jess and I were trying to pull out together, so much effort, we couldn't get it. And there you go. So little effort, simple mechanics, just basic physics working for you with this thing. And I'm telling you, once I got going with this thing, I went all day. Like, it was so simple, pleasant, so satisfying. Over the septic tank, which you'll see in a future video solving the septic tank problems, but I had to get all the trees out of here so I could get all the roots out of here so we could solve that problem. Here's outside the fence line in the little pasture outside front of the house. No way I'm getting that with the extractigator. These pine trees are about 5 to 10 years old. This used to be pasture, and we'd like to figure out how to reclaim it. Probably not doing this by hand. We're gonna need to bring in some big guns for this one. Fortunately, a buddy of mine has a small business on the side where he's got a mini excavator, and we worked out a good deal. Got that thing out here and started clearing this pasture. Now look, I'll be honest, I'm pretty good at most stuff, but maybe there's a little learning curve working on an excavator. Took a little time before I kind of knew what I was doing. I think I got pretty good in the end, but right off the cuff, didn't quite know how to get a pine tree out of the ground. Okay, but I did figure it out. Figured out how to grab a piece of scrub by the base of the trunk, get a good grip on it, and pull it out of there. After a couple hours on this thing, I was starting to feel like I was really making a difference. It's making a dent in the undergrowth that we had, and I wasn't sure there'd ever been a better excavator operator than I was. But the hours started to rack up. I was paying an hourly fee, and finally I reached back out to my buddy and said, "Hey Daniel, why don't you come out here and see if you can make a dent on this?" Turns out Daniel's a little more experienced than I am. here's the final result. Clearing out the yard, at least for now. Found that these trees are all in a nice line. Didn't even notice that when we first came out here. And then so this is kind of a driveway through here. There's gravel under there you can't really see. Found this walk, which is a little messy right now. And then we've got, these are, I think they're azaleas. We cut them way back and after I cut them back, all this growth came out in a couple weeks. So we're hoping they'll rebound in the spring. It's December right now. I cut them in late September. So I'm hoping those will rebound. They're everywhere. I didn't cut, those are azaleas. That's azaleas over there. They're everywhere. So I still got a lot to cut back. I think these are azaleas. They're azaleas, right? Pretty sure. That's not. It's like a holly tree, I guess. This thing was super tall. Let's cut that back. Crepe myrtle's here. I don't know if we'll keep that or not. For now, just cut it back. And then out in the field, here, I'll give you one more shot of the house now. So you can see. So let me clean that roof off. A couple of years worth of leaves up there. No leaks. So out here in the field, after we had bush hogged and then raked everything, I came back with a hand rake to get all the tracks out from the excavator. And then put a blend of some summer grass and some winter grass so that it would sprout up right away, which, I mean, it came up within, I don't know, a week. We had grass coming up. And this has been about 3.5 weeks. 3 weeks or a month, I don't know. That's looking great. And then there's still some sticks, some roots coming up that didn't get raked, but I'm hoping they'll break down and maybe I'll just chop them before I change out my lawnmower blade or something. But I think this is going to turn into a nice little green area. And then we'll have to burn that. This is what it all used to look like. It was all that over there. It used to be over here. Still got a lot to do. Got a fence to fix. But gotta tackle things in priority order.